Hello, I'm Reema Chandra and welcome to Cooking Without Boundaries. Cooking without boundaries to me means breaking out of many boundaries, whether it's cuisine, culture, or simple ones like recipes, ingredients, and skills. Creating conversations, sharing and nurturing my passion, and hoping to inspire you is what Cooking Without Boundaries means to me. Hi, I'm Reema Chandra and welcome to Cooking Without Boundaries. Cooking without boundaries to me means that I come out of my boundaries that sometimes unintentionally I have put on myself. One of those is cooking with potatoes, using less and less of potatoes. Probably you do the same thing, that it's carbohydrate, it has calories, but there are so many health benefits of it, and if we do it in moderation, it's all good. So today I decided to cook with potatoes. The first dish is roasted sweet potatoes wedges. Second dish is mustard flavored mashed potatoes with chives. Third is potatoes and pepper medley in tomato sauce. And fourth one is baked potatoes and chicken stew. So let's get started with cooking. There are about 100 varieties of potatoes. Popular potato varieties are russet, red potatoes, white potatoes, fingerling, sweet potatoes. Potatoes first originated in Peru, in Andean mountains. They made their way to Europe in about mid to late 1600s by Spanish explorers. It took time for potatoes to catch on there, and then it entered America in about late 17th century, early 18th, but didn't become popular until early 19th century. Roasted sweet potato wedges. To make that, I made wedges out of about 3 sweet potatoes of this size. Let me show you the size, this size. So it's roughly about 4 cups, I would say. And these are of this thickness. I peeled a little bit and I left some skin on, gives you good fiber. So we are going to mix some ingredients in this bowl. I added sweet potatoes here. We have olive oil, garlic flavored, and we'll add about 2 teaspoons of it. I have garlic bits in there and I added that too. Freshly crushed black pepper, a teaspoon of that, and salt, half a teaspoon of that, and we mix the ingredients well. It's actually very easy. The taste is in the sweet potato itself. You don't add too many things, and you get the fresh roasted taste of sweet potatoes. And we are going to put it on a baking sheet, which is warming up in the oven at 400 degrees, and it probably take 25 to 30 minutes to cook. So let's put it on the baking sheet. Mustard flavored mashed potatoes with chives. I baked 4 red potatoes of medium size in microwave for about 10 minutes on high. And now I'm crushing it with my masher here. While the skin is on, it's important to have skin in your potato dishes because that's what adds health benefits, many of the health benefits that potatoes bring to our table. I don't keep all of the skin in, but some. And so once the potatoes are mashed, which it is right now, I'm going to use my fingers and get rid of some skin, which are not very soft or, small. The small ones you leave them in because they are easy to eat. I transferred the mashed potatoes to a plate, and we are now going to add rest of the ingredients. 1 teaspoon of mustard sauce here, and I'm going to use my finger and scoop it all out because I'm using my finger to mix it in potatoes anyway. There you go. I have this garlic flavored olive oil, so 1 teaspoon of that and a pinch of salt. I have chopped chives, so I'm going to add about a teaspoon in first, mix it all together. See, my fingers are moving smoothly through the potato here, mashed potatoes, and do this motion to mix the ingredients in. This has no mayo or dairy or milk, any of those things, so all the healthy stuff, they're already there. There you go. And I garnish it with rest of the chives. Potatoes and pepper medley. For that, I've actually made a medley of 2 different kind of potatoes, red and white, and 3 different kinds of pepper, green, orange, and red, just for fun. No particular reason. They all have the same nutritional value. So if you have them, do it. If not, if you have only 1 kind of potato, 1 kind of pepper, go ahead, do that. 2 cups of chopped white onion, or yellow onion rather, and let's add oil for that. My garlic flavored olive oil, 2 teaspoons of it, and then we add onion, and we stir it. Add potatoes, all of it. And let it saute for about 2 to 4 minutes on low flame. Now adding the peppers, medley of peppers, is about 3 cups. Stir, mix. At this point, we will add about half a teaspoon of freshly crushed black pepper and about a teaspoon of, I think it will take a 1.5 teaspoon of salt. So we have been stirring and cooking and mixing the peppers and the potatoes together for now good 4 to 5 minutes. We are now going to add 2 cups of freshly prepared tomato sauce. To make the tomato sauce, I chopped up about 3 to 4 medium-sized tomatoes. I smoked a teaspoon of olive oil, garlic flavored, added some sliced garlics, about 3 cloves of garlic, and added the chopped tomatoes to it, some rosemary, and then let it simmer with 1 cup of water in there for about 15 minutes on low flame. That's how I prepared the tomato sauce. I just added tomato sauce here, and we are going to add half cup of water and then let it simmer on low flame. So this is quarter and then half. Looks beautiful. And now we are going to cover it with lid, let it simmer for good 10 to 15 minutes, and it will be ready to be served then. Baked potatoes and chicken stew. For that, I like to put everything that I have left over, cut-ups of potatoes or sweet potato or squash or tomatoes or onion, anything that I have left over from other dishes, I put them all together in this particular dish and put it in a cast iron Dutch oven, and it goes in the oven at 400 degrees to cook for long. So it takes longer you leave, better assimilation of flavors happen. So I like to cook it for sometimes 2.5 hours. So I am going to show you what all things that go into it, mixing of it, and then I'll show you what I already started cooking and how it looks. So let's start with chicken. These are boneless pieces of 2 pounds of chicken. I add fingerling potatoes, about a pound. I would say this is about 1.5 cups of cherry tomatoes, 2 cups of chopped onion, 1 cup of squash, cut up squash chunks, any vegetables that you can grab, 1 cup of sliced carrots. I have 1 jalapeno pepper, so I'll add that too. I have whatever oil is left here, I think it is 2 teaspoons. So let's add that, 2 teaspoons of olive oil. 2 bay leaves if you have them, if not, don't worry about it. Salt to taste. In this much of ingredients, I think it's about 1.5 teaspoons. Half a teaspoon of freshly crushed black pepper, and 1 teaspoon of garlic paste, added that, and half a teaspoon of honey. That looks good. Let's mix them. And while I'm mixing them, it's interesting how potatoes can make things so tasty. Did you know that they even grew potatoes in space? So in 1995, NASA teamed up with University of Wisconsin, and they came up with a technology where they could grow potatoes in space to sustain their astronauts and also for future life sustainability there. Potatoes are, once upon a time, they were also more expensive than gold because they have vitamin C in abundance. And back then, people needed vitamin C. They didn't know how else to get it, so through their fresh veggies and fruits. And gold was in abundance and potatoes were not. So they were more expensive. Did you also know that French fries never started in France? It started here. During President Jefferson's time, it was served for one of his presidential dinners. So there are so many fun things to do with potatoes. Cooking dishes, talking about it, getting your kids excited. Lots of health benefits, potassium, calcium, vitamin C, vitamin E, fiber, complex carbs, so many things. So we can bring it back into our kitchen in moderation and enjoy the health benefits of potatoes. smells wonderful. I also added a cup of chopped tomatoes and a cup of hot water to give it a liquid base for it to cook in there. Here we have our baked potato and chicken stew. So we did it again. We used a simple ingredient like potatoes and we created 4 different dishes. We did roasted sweet potatoes wedges, we did mustard flavored mashed potatoes with chives, then we made potatoes and pepper medley and baked potatoes and chicken stew. Cooking without boundaries. And when I pick up ingredients for the show, I have discovered that in this journey I end up learning many hidden potentials of ingredients that I didn't know before. And it's been a learning experience for me also, and as the journey continues, I continue learning. I can do it, and if I can do it, so can you. This freshness, this authenticity, this honesty in cooking, this freedom in cooking is what all makes it Cooking Without Boundaries. Any question, concern, suggestion, I would love to hear from you. So please write to me at reema@sharontv.com or call me at 617-504-5136. Until next time, happy cooking without boundaries.